I'm Al McFarlane. Today, we normally talk with veterans, colleagues of mine. I'm a veteran, Navy veteran, about our experiences, our stories, serving the country, serving you, serving our families, our communities as soldiers or sailors or airmen and women, members of the U.S. Armed Services. Today, I don't have a team together for that conversation. We'll do that in the future. We reached out to people that weren't as available today as we normally are. But I wanted to take a minute just to talk about what I think is a wonderful experience this morning and to give props and kudos to those that made this happen. So this morning at 9:30, Bobby and I, my wife Bobby and I, were able to go up to North Point Health and Wellness up in the corner of Plymouth and Penn, 3 or 4 blocks from where we live, our neighborhood, and get our first vaccination for the COVID-19 virus. And I can tell you, I'm so happy and so grateful and so thankful that the window and the schedules opened up. And I'm in one of the categories, age-wise, 73, and also have a lot of underlying or comorbidities, including hypertension, high blood pressure, and a diagnosis of colon cancer and also congestive heart failure, things that put me at greater risk. And so because of that, I was able to get in on the first round of COVID-19 vaccinations available in North Minneapolis at North Point Health and Wellness. So I want to say to North Point, thank you so much. Personally, I'm glad to be there. My intent is to follow up. I get the second dose, I think, in 28 days, and that should give me immunity. I'm looking forward to that because I want to spend time with my grandchildren and with my children again in ways that I haven't been able to for the past, year now. Our life has changed, and our ability to interact with family and children, grandchildren, with even coworkers and friends and socially, totally disrupted. So I'm looking forward to getting back. I do know that even with this first vaccination, even with the second one in a month from now, that doesn't mean that I shouldn't wear the mask and I shouldn't follow all the protocols. I do know that it means that even with the protection, the prevention afforded by the vaccination, it'll be a long time before a critical mass of the entire population has been afforded the same protection, and that the general risk for everybody will be abated. So even with the shot or with the vaccination, I am advised that and I intend to continue the protocols of, not shaking hands and keeping distant from people, not congregating with big crowds, making sure that I wash my hands and wear the face mask, and do all those things that I've become accustomed to doing. The difference will be that perhaps, if the other members of my family all have had the vaccination as well, we can interact a little more than we're able to do now. I'm looking forward to maybe being able to travel at the end of the year, because I haven't been for a long time and haven't wanted to go. I don't want to take the risk. And so, and I don't want to also put other people at risk. So let me explain today's experience up at North Point Health and Wellness. Our appointment was at 9:30. We showed up at 9:15. Didn't want to miss my spot, right? And so when we got there, we park in the parking ramp in the Thor. I call it the Thor building, but it's a building at the corner of Plymouth and Penn, and take the elevator up to the fifth floor. The fifth floor is all North Point's, primarily office and other areas. So, elevator opens and a person greets you and then sort of assigns you to one of three people that are screeners. And everybody is suited up with a mask, a clear plastic gown, headgear, robe, gloves, everything. And they screen you first to ask you, the question you've been used to getting: how do you feel? Have you been around anybody that you knew had COVID? Do you have a fever? Are you coughing? All those things. So we answer all those things. And what is cool, what is so cool is that, I was telling somebody earlier, that not only are you being greeted and sort of, walked 2 steps to the person that will do the screening, but you're greeted with a smile. And the screener greets you with a smile and with a sense of caring and a sense of gentleness that reflects awareness of your concern and of your anxiety, possibly, And so they just make you relax and make you feel good. And so you walk smilingly then from that station to the next station, where you get to fill out the paperwork, your name and date of birth, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the point I want to make here is how important it is to be in a place where people know you, where you know the people, you know their story, they know your story. It's your neighborhood. It's our people. And you have this feeling that everybody here cares about you and is here because they support you and your life and your choices and the options that you have. And they want you to be abundantly healthy, and to lead a sustainable and productive life. And that's what they give you, that energy, when you walk in the door. So you take the forms and they bring you to another room where you fill the forms out, and someone's standing by to, if you've got a question, does this mean this? Do I have to fill this out? Questions you have when you get these page and a half, not a lot of stuff, but just basic questions. And it's easy to forget one or to skip one or to not be sure. If you have allergies, for example, well, I had an allergy when I was 10 years old. Does that count? And if you don't know, you don't know. You ask somebody, they give you advice on what you should do. But a nurse is there, or a professional is there to guide you, to support you, and to make sure that you're comfortable answering the responses. So when that's all done, they check your paperwork and everything is done. They walk you to another room where it's set up for maybe 3 or 4 tables, and I'm presuming a nurse greets you at the door and brings you to his or her station and gives you a choice. You want your left arm or your right arm? Where do you want the shot? And, make your choice, sit you down, and they tell you, this is not going to, really bother you. You'll be okay. And in my case, I had a short sleeve shirt on, so I just pulled my shirt sleeve up. She asked me to hold the shirt sleeve. And before, while I was tussling with making the shirt sleeve roll up properly to hold it, she was done with the shot. No hurt, no pain, no nothing, and I wanted to make jokes saying that, you guys don't laugh at me if I start crying. I didn't cry. It was so painless and so easy, and actually you don't notice it. You're done before you can say D in done. And so it was a good experience. Then they walk you to another area, because the rules are, they give you the time that you had your vaccination shot, but you got to sit there for like 30 minutes. And in 30 minutes, because they say you might get a reaction, you could get one, but usually if you get it, it's going to show up in 10, 15, 20 minutes. So they want you to be relaxed, chill out, got questions, just relax. And of course, I'm a journalist, I'm a reporter, and I had our photographer, Uche Irogbe, come and document this experience for me, because I believe I have a duty and an obligation to talk about this, as I'm talking about this with you right now, to tell our people, what, let's do this. Let's go get vaccinated. Let's keep our families. Let's step up first. Let's not be hesitant. Let's not be reticent. Let's not be skeptical. We know that there is conversation in our communities where some people say, well, I'm going to pray on it. Some people say, well, they did this in the past, and therefore I'm not going to, or I'm skeptical that they might do something different, and this might be an okey-doke or overlay for the underlay. we got all kinds of ways for describing stuff. I'm here to say that let's be rational, let's be clear, let's trust the science and trust the people in our community who have demonstrated their capacity and their passion for making us healthy as individuals and as a community, who demonstrated their ability to respond to our desires to be healthy. Trust them and get the vaccination. Get the vaccination. So I'm simply reporting that today Bobby and I got our first vaccination. We were pleased to sit there and talk with people distance, 6 feet apart, all the chairs where you waited. You had to sit around. Oh, you know what was cool? What was cool? They had a banner set up in the room. So like maybe there were 3 or 4 rows, like in a classroom at a school, 3 or 4 rows of classroom style desk. Maybe they were chairs. I can't remember now, single chairs, but they were all like 5 feet apart to either side of you, and 5 or 6 feet apart, person in front of you, 6 feet probably. And in the front of the room, they had set up like a screen with some images on it about getting the vaccination. And they set it up with a chair so you could come there, and one of their photographers would take a picture of you, or you could have your camera there and get a picture taken, like a selfie with the background. It felt like being on a Hollywood red carpet runway. You're sitting in front of this screen, and it's an important event, and you're an important person. You get the VIP treatment, and I think that's what we need, it's what we deserve, and it makes it fun. So with that, I'm simply reminding everybody in my neighborhood, North Minneapolis, call up North Point, call the county, the state, find out where you can get a vaccination if you're old enough or qualified because of the criteria that they've announced so far. But we owe it to ourselves to pay attention and to get in line as quickly as we can to get the vaccine against COVID-19. Our communities are hit kind of doubly hard. We know the story, we've talked about it, and we have a double responsibility to make sure that we mitigate the potential impact of COVID-19 on our bodies, our families, our community, and people that we come in contact with. Well, not a planned statement, but one that I'm glad to make. I'm interested if you've got feedback or comments about your experience. I'd love to talk to you about it. I'll give you my email address. Send me a note. My email address is McFarlane@gmail.com. McFarlane is McFarlane, McFarlanemedia@gmail.com. I'd love to talk to you, and maybe you could help me put together a show like this, a conversation where we talk about our experiences, thinking about making the decision to get the vaccine, and how we feel, and what we ought to be saying to the rest of our family, our neighborhoods, and to community about our commitment to our own health and safety. I'm Al McFarlane. Again, love to hear from you, and give me a call or drop me a line at my email address, McFarlanemedia@gmail.com. Kelvin, I think that's it. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye. Before we close, I guess I looked at the chat, and I see Coach Leah. Hey, Coach Leah Jean Denley saying that she's glad that we're sharing. I'm sharing this experience that community people need to hear voices from our community. Talk about the vaccination and not, the other people from the celebrity and medical corporate circles. And she is saying that she's got her appointment tomorrow, and she's happy to share her experience with anybody that wants to hear it. So Leah Jean, let's plan on you and I hooking up tomorrow because tomorrow is really a day that I talk about health and wellness. So maybe I'll send you a link to join the program at 1 tomorrow if your schedule permits. Let's talk about your experience and mine today. Sam Cook is on the line. Sam Cook, how you doing, brother? You say, what's up? Well, what's up is that Bobby and I got our, let me move out of the sunlight here. Bobby and I got our vaccine this morning. So I want to take a time and sort of do a soliloquy talking about getting this vaccination and how happy I am, how pleased I am, and how thankful I am, how grateful I am to our friends and colleagues up here at North Point Health and Wellness, getting the health I need in my own neighborhood from people that I know and I trust, people who know me. And I'm talking about my sense, Brother Sam Cook, my obligation, my duty to tell my experience in the hope that people might be listening or sharing or getting in a conversation where they decide they should do the same thing. So, thank you for checking this out, and thank you for your notes and comments. Anybody else out there that wants to make a comment? Sam Cook is saying, you got to get to the other side of Rona. And you're absolutely correct. Well, you can't do it unless you go take the steps that will protect you and protect others. And to me, that means that we have to trust the science and trust the people in our communities who've dedicated themselves to keeping us safe, keeping us healthy and healed. And for me, no better organization than what I call the what's the right word for it? I've got a phrase I use to describing the powerful presence of North Point Health and Wellness. It's an anchor institution, a legacy institution, and the people that work there at North Point Health and Wellness, the best human beings in the world. They really care. They really are professional, and they exude commitment, support, and professionalism in all of their interactions with you as a neighbor, resident, as a patient, and as a human being. And that is such a wonderful thing. So that's where I was today. Interested in hearing from anybody else. If you've had your COVID test already, let me know. Coach Leah Jean is going to be getting hers tomorrow. And she's going to hopefully join our program at 1 tomorrow, where we talk with people in the health profession and in community about our health and our keeping ourselves safe. Well, tell you what, I think this was just an impromptu, improvised statement. I'm glad to make it. I hope it makes sense to some of you who are watching either on YouTube or on Facebook. Let me hear from you. I'm Al McFarlane, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow, 1 o'clock right here. Bye-bye.